buying books and reading books are two different hobbies. Hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you are new. If you are, hi, my name is Liv and I am so glad that you are here. Today we are going to be tackling the bookshelf. I just recently reorganized it a couple of days ago. I was thinking about it while reorganizing and I was like, I feel like my physical TBR is getting a little out of hand. So I decided today we're gonna hold myself accountable and we're gonna go through every single book I have on my bookshelf that I have not read, and we're gonna discuss why I haven't read it, because I really need to work on the physical TBR instead of always buying new books randomly. So let's do that. So this is what the bookshelf looks like. Ignore cardboard Jimin, he's fine. There's also this gap here because I am planning on buying the other two the other two books in the Natural series sometime this weekend, so I left space for them. But I'm honestly really happy with how it turned out. I do have to say I'm a little nervous to see how many books on here I have not read. I know it's quite a few. I do know it's quite a few, but I'm nervous to see just how many. Okay, I can't put it off any longer. We're gonna just start by pulling off all of the books that I haven't read. Okay, oh my god. That's a little embarrassing. Also, what's on the shelf is not all of my books. It's nowhere near it. I have books in my closet, I have books under my bed, I have books in tote bins, I have books downstairs on bookshelves. But for the purpose of this video, we are just tackling this one bookshelf. Okay, let's start with my explanations as to why I haven't read any of these books. Starting off strong, we're gonna start with a chunk. Is these 3 Jane Austen books. I have Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and Persuasion, and then also Little Women. I bought these 4 books at the same time because I was like, I haven't read any Jane Austen books. I know, I'm sorry. But I was like, I really want to. So I bought these 3, and then they also had Little Women, and I haven't read this one yet. And obviously, once again, I really want to. I've heard obviously amazing things. And so I bought these 4 together, and I'm so excited to read these. But I do this thing where I buy books when I'm in the middle of reading another series, and then I'm like, well, I want to finish the series that I'm reading before I start any new books. And that's what I did with these. But I'm currently reading the Natural series. I'm on book 2, and like, they're so fun. I'm reading them so fast. But I think once I'm done, I'm gonna start on one of these. I don't know which one, but I'm gonna start on one of these. Next one is Grimm, Daughter of a Curse by J.R. White. And this one is actually signed by the author. J.R. White herself, she was sitting next to me at a craft fair that I was doing with my grandma, and she was selling signed copies of a bunch of her books. So I picked this one up because it sounds really interesting. I just haven't read it yet because there's other books in my collection that were higher priority than this one, but I do plan on reading it soon, and I also have a cat named Grimm, so it's perfect. The next 2 I got the same day. I got God Killer and The Summer Hikaru Died. This one's a manga, this one's a novel. I got both of these from my sister for my birthday, because I always ask for books every single year from everybody. Again, I just haven't read these because I had ones that were higher priority on my TBR, but they both sound very good and I'm very excited. She also got me the manga A Sign for Affection, which I'm reading right now. It is so good. These next 2 are both second books in series that I loved. This one is Leather and Lark, and this one is Collided. This one is from Lauren Asher's Dirty Air series, and this one is The Ruinous Love trilogy by Bryn Weaver. Yeah, I really have no reason why I haven't read these. I loved Throttled, the first book in the series. I literally read it in a couple days. It was so good. But then I started reading other books, and then I got this one, and I just haven't been in the mood to read an F1 series yet, so haven't read book 2 yet. And then Leather and Lark, I was in such a bad reading slump when I read Butcher and Blackbird, which is the first book, and I really enjoyed the book, but because I was in a book slump, it kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, kind of like made me not want to keep reading the series. But I did get the second one because I'm like, I did enjoy the series, or the book, so I think if I read this one when I'm not in a book slump, I think I will enjoy it a lot more. Next, we have The Fine Print, also by Lauren Asher. It's another series of hers, and I've heard really good things about it. So when I saw the first book at the store when I was out with my friends, I was like, I need to get this. So I got the first book, and then I just haven't been in the mood to start this series yet, so I haven't read it yet. Next, we have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I wanted this book so badly. I would literally pick it up every single time I was at the store, and then finally I got it. I finished the book I was currently reading. I went to read this one, and I was like, I'm actually not really in the mood for like a fantasy, romantasy vibe right now. So I was like, I'll read this one later. And then I just kept putting it off. Like, I'll read this one later, I'll read this one later. And I still have not read it. And I've had this book for like a year now. However, I am kind of entering back into a fantasy, romantasy era. And so I am actually, the excitement for this book is slowly coming back to me. So I think I'm going to be reading it very soon. These next three I have literally had since high school. And I am 22 now, so it's been a while. I have Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Killen, The Secret of McKinley Mansion by Kay Breen, and The Isle of Blood and Stone by Micaiah Lucier. I think that's how you say their name. All three of these were book club reads, because when I was in high school, me and my friends, we did book club, and we would get a new book like every 2 or 3 weeks, I think it was, and you would read it. And these three were three of the last books we read senior year, and I just got so busy that I never read them. But I've always kept them on my shelf because all three of these truly sound so interesting, and I do want to read them. Hopefully one day, if you've read any of these and they are good, please convince me to read them in the comments because they've been sitting on my shelf for so long. The next two are both thrillers. We have When She Was Me by Marley Bush and Out of Her Depth by Lizzie Barber. Both of these were given to me as gifts, one from one of my sisters, one from one of my friends, and I love thrillers, especially recently. I've been really into thrillers. I don't know, I haven't read these. I was given to them again for my birthday, and I was reading other books at the time, so I was like, I'll put these off for a minute while I finish ones I'm reading, and then I just never picked them back up. But while rearranging my shelf, I did read the back of both of these, and they both sound so interesting that I'm kind of mad at myself for not reading them yet, so hopefully we'll be reading these two soon. Okay, me and this next book have a little bit of beef. It's Looking for Alaska by John Green. Listen, I have heard such good things about this book. I have had it recommended to me by multiple different people. I always see really good reviews of it. I've heard great things. I have tried to read this book, I'm not kidding, 5 times, and I have DNF'd it every single time. And I could not tell you why. Like, people ask me why, I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I want to read it so bad because, again, I've seen such good things. I've heard really good things about John Green as an author. So and like the thing is this, I'm like, even reading the back, I'm like, this sounds so interesting, but I've tried to read it so many times, and every time I get to about chapter 5 to 10 and I just stop reading it. I don't know why. But the last time that I did try to read it, I think was like 2 or 3 years ago now, and in the past 2 or 3 years I have like read a lot of different kind of books. I've read a lot of new authors that I hadn't read before, so I think maybe it's time to try her again. I'm just a little bit scared because, again, I've tried to read it like 5 times and have not been able to do it any of the times. So I'm a little scared to start it again because what if I DNF it again? But if I DNF it again, I DNF it again. That is Looking for Alaska by John Green. If I do read this, maybe I'll try to make a reading vlog out of it. Maybe that will convince me to actually read it. The next one, I think a lot of people are going to be like, why have you not read that yet? And it is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I got this because, again, I'd heard amazing things about this, and I saw it on sale at Target, so I picked it up probably like 2 or 3 years ago now. I started reading it this is like a common theme in this video. I was in a book slump, and I tried to use this one to get out of my book slump, and I just wasn't feeling it, so I put it back down. And I think a bad habit of mine is I associate book slumps with books, and that's almost never the case. Like, same with Leather and Lark. I was kind of in a book slump while reading Butcher and Blackbird, so I've never read the second book because I'm like, it's gonna put me in a reading slump, and it's like, it probably is not. Same with this one. I tried to get out of a book slump with it, so now every time I go to read it, I just think of that book slump. I just need to read this one because I know it's good, and the sequel, I think, just came out. It actually might have been out for a while by now, but yeah, I know I'm gonna enjoy it too, is the thing. I know I'm gonna enjoy it, so I need to just read this. This one is definitely very high priority on my summer TBR. 5 more, we're almost there. This one is my most recent acquired book. It's The Killing Room by Jerry Hill. This one was literally on a free book cart outside of a local bookshop, and I was like, absolutely, I want free books. And this one is the one that sounded most interesting. I haven't really heard anything about it, but it sounded good from the back, so I got it. These next two are both Stephen King books. I have The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon and Rose Madder. I entered my Stephen King era recently. I read Carrie, The Shining, and Salem's Lot all within like a month or 2 of each other. I cannot believe it took me until last year to read Stephen King books. But these two I also got because I'm obsessed with Stephen King's writing and I want to read everything he's ever written. So I have these two to read of his, and I also want to get It because I've watched all the It movies and I enjoyed them a lot, so I want to get the book as well. Second to last is When We Were Bright and Beautiful by Gillian Madoff. I got this one from my sister. Again, I reread the little synopsis while reorganizing my shelf. It sounds really entertaining. I actually think this one's also really high on my TBR right now because it sounds very good, but yeah, I haven't actually heard anything about this one. But if you've read it, let me know what you thought. This next one, I've heard people either say they love it or they hate it. I've not seen like an opinion that's just in between. And it is The Spanish Love Deception. Listen, I got this book in February of 2024. Me and my best friend both got a copy and we were like, let's read it together. And then we never read it together. We were both reading other books at the time, and every time one of us has picked this up to go to read it, we've just not been in the mood to read it. It's very like longer chapters, smaller text. I have like looked up reviews. I watch a lot of booktubers. If you watch Jack Edwards, he hates this book. But I've also watched booktubers who love this book. And I know I need to just form my own opinion. Like I need to just read it and form my own opinion, but I'm a little nervous to read it, and yeah, it's never been that high priority on my TBR. So let me know, if you've read this, did you love it or hate it, and should I read it? I feel like I need to just get it out of the way and like figure out if I'm gonna love it or hate it. And that is my entire physical TBR for my main bookshelf, at least. We're not gonna talk about the books around the rest of my house. They're not important right now. These are the main 23 books. Hello, that I haven't read. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm reading the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes right now. Once I finish that series, I think I'm gonna try my very hardest to focus on reading some of these books from the physical TBR. I'm gonna try and read at least 3 of these before buying or starting any other book. So hold me to that. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This is my second ever book video on this YouTube channel, but I have plans to make a lot more. I want to branch out my content a lot more. So if you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see, let me know. And if you have read any of these books and you love them, let me know. Comment down below, tell me about them, hype them up so that I get more excited to read them. Please. But that is all for today's video. I hope you guys have a great day or night or whatever it is wherever you are. Bye guys. Are you gonna help me put all these away, Grim?